I'm just remembering about sixth form, a year of my life that I kind of seem to have blotted out. I don't know why. But basically, it was quite an interesting time. Used to go out quite a bit, like the group, like the boys and the girls in the sixth form. And I had this really weird thing going on because my cousin had proposed to my dad over the holidays for me. And then, although he said no, he still wanted to keep in touch, and he suggested writing to my cousin. I mean, writing to one of my friends. I gave him my friend's address, Harriet. So it was like intercepted by Mossad or something, you know. But and he's actually, um, well, that's his dad, Mossad Bush. So it's quite interesting. But anyway, my cousin, he used to write actually sometimes, and he was going to marry my other cousin, the younger one, because the way he suggested was he wanted, either wanted me as his second wife or something, or he basically wanted, to wait 6 to 8 years, and it put a lot of people off actually, and it caused a lot of problems with one of the guys at school, Matthew, who had the hots for my friend Harriet. He was getting really wound up, thinking, "Oh, why is my girlfriend getting letters? And is she going to have to marry him?" And I said, "No, don't be daft." I said, "Look, it's my cousin. It was really for me." And he just wanted one of my friend's addresses. So I just have this debate, and every time we'd write, I'd get like a third degree of grilling for everybody. And Sean the Aspect was actually one of the group. Actually, he was one of the guys, and they used to have such a laugh. We used to have such a laugh about the whole thing, and then it kind of, made us all kind of like thinking, "Oh, there's no point anyway." With me, especially because I was just like too young, and I didn't want to give my number to everybody, because I got into trouble over the holidays as well because this other boy kept bringing me, and it really caused a lot of problems. I felt really guilty. I didn't want to put my dad through that. It's really embarrassing. It became quite religious by that age, and it was just really bad. And I always kind of seem to get myself into a bit of trouble because I'm just too nice to people. Apart from this one boy who kind of, I thought he'd been stalking me at school as well. Like, used to come home, um, and Kareem, I think his name was, which is really strange. But anyway, I had a go at him, and then I felt really guilty because he probably, he might not have been. You can never tell, can you? You know. But I remember saying to Sean as well. I mean, this is private, but I remember saying to him that he's just so good looking, he'll get anyone anyway. And he said the same to me. He said, "Well, you get a lot of male attention as well, so it's kind of, it works both ways. I mean, who's the the less attractive one? It's not like, you know." And I said, "Well, maybe true. Maybe I didn't, because what I could see was him and some other people, but he was obviously like kind of one of the ones that were, well, the only one worth going for really. But nothing really could develop because I was just too young as well. I was just like not sure, not ready, and I thought, just really weird actually. Never really kind of got to anything, and it's just kind of really weird thinking about it. That I could sometimes think, did we have a car crash, like all of us, or me, him, and Debbie? Because I used to spend a lot of time with Debbie as well, and I remember getting in the car and kind of having a bit of row, or we were kind of getting worked up, and it was my cousin's letters that were kind of causing a lot of arguments and stuff as well. Because like having something like that hanging over you, thinking that if you get involved with someone, then they're going to run off and marry the cousin anyway. It makes them wonder whether it's even worth getting involved. And it's true. At the end of the day, that's just how it started. It kind of made it quite interesting as well. But I left, and then I started Pitbull Street, and actually, kind of even there, I was kind of not dealing with it properly, not thinking about it properly. And I think I must have really genuinely just got, just got a little bit hurt as well, because I could see, you know, that other women were getting involved and going out properly, whereas I just couldn't do that. So kind of, like somebody wants their partner there, don't they? If they're not going to be there, then they're going to just move on, and it's true. So I kind of missed. Well, maybe it would have lasted anyway. Who knows? But the point is, I've always got myself into trouble, even at work. Was like this guy who, kind of sexually harassed me as well. So kind of, could never be kind of sure, even if you catch someone's eye and kind of see people about things, you don't know what they're thinking really. So I kind of, it's really kind of put the frightness on me. I'm thinking I'm going to carry mace. I mean, even now, like I'm 47, I have to be careful, and that's why I wear the scarf. And I've kind of covered myself up a lot, but I have to start wearing a bit more kind of like normal clothes, things that are me. Even though I still wear the scarf, I kind of, I don't know. Women who are short are also quite vulnerable. You know what I mean? We're kind of petite and small, and it kind of, I don't know. Not just tall women. Tall women are a bit kind of stronger, aren't they? So they get a lot of attention, but so do smaller ones, and that's basically what the problem is sometimes. Like small petite women are also vulnerable. So anyway, but people get mugged and stuff in London and England, so you can never be too safe, you know. But yeah, the parties we went to in sixth form were quite interesting. I went with my cousin a couple of times. We managed to stay over. We managed to stay over because of getting home would be a problem. So looking back, interesting times. Um, I kind of wish that Harriet and Matthew had got together. Really, I didn't want those letters to be the cause of them not getting together, and it's just a shame, really. I mean, they might have done. I haven't seen Harriet for years. Um, Sean, I think I might have seen him another time later on as well, and but it's just weird because I couldn't remember a lot of it, and that's what he was trying to remind me, and I couldn't really remember. That's why I think maybe we had a car crash, all of us, especially Sean and Debbie and me, just us three in the car, and that would explain a lot of things. Anyway, temporary amnesia can last for years, and it's only after I started listening to a lot of music that it's kind of reminded me. Because every time I think of my dad, I think of the bus and like people on there, and like people like Sean and his friend Stefan and Wassel and me and Tila and Thelma and Joanne Brooks and Halliday and Celestine, all of us, and we, we weren't all. None of us used to really eye anybody up, but Sean is someone who always stood out because he's really exceptionally good looking. The same with Stefan, his friend, and he was actually a model, next catalogue model. So you can understand, like there was no rivalry there really. It's not like Stefan was someone that he's just really smart as well. So I think it kind of it's just quite interesting with the whole thing. But I think Sean was with Lucy Jeffries back then. I think so. I can't remember, but it was just really weird. I never knew who he was with, who his girlfriend was, what he was doing. So it kind of it puts people off as well.